You're listening to The Extraction, conversations on the systems and strategies behind dental practice growth with Colin Ambler and Kyle Bergman. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Extraction Podcast. Your co-host, Kyle, here today with my co-host and the co-founder of Team Care, Dr. Sharon Bleiler. And today we are joined by Kiera Dent, who is the CEO and founder of Dental A-Team, a consulting and training company focused on profitability, systems, accountability, culture, and leadership in dental practices. Kiera has worked nearly every role inside of a practice, which is a big part of why her content lands with both owners and teams. So in this episode, we're going to be riffing a little bit about everything and anything that goes into making a practice smarter, scaling from a leadership, team bonding. I think we're going to talk a little bit about AI and efficiency. And so stick around. This is a good one. Kiera, welcome to The Extraction. How are you?
Amazing, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I've been super pumped to get on the podcast. Definitely a big fan over here. Excited to just riff on all things dental. I mean, my last name's Dent, so it's definitely my cup of tea here and excited to be with you guys today. So thanks for the warm welcome. And
Absolutely. And thank you again for taking the time to join us. I know you're super busy, and congrats on all the success you've had building Dental A-Team. One of the first
thank
questions
you.
that I love to ask is what brought you to the dental industry? Not necessarily something that people grow up aspiring to be back when we want to be firefighters, astronauts, or Olympians, but what brought you into it? Curious.
Yeah, I mean, great question. It's funny. I remember in first grade, my teacher, Mrs. Larson, had us like write out what we wanted to be. You guys, I have gone all over the map. I went from being like, I wanted to be a hotel cleaner. That was a big dream of mine. I was like, I want to be a hotel cleaner, mom. Like, it's going to be amazing. To wanting to be a vet. I don't even really like animals. Like, you can judge me harshly right now. And I was like, vet, all the way up to I wanted to break the world record and have 99 kids because I was like, listen, and then I'll just have like, I had already thought in processes at that point in my life. Like, if I just like meet with them like one day a year, I could see each of them 3 times a year. Two, then being like, listen, I just want to like wear scrubs for my life. And so it was either like be a nurse and learn the whole body or be a dental assistant and just learn the mouth. So that's actually what got me into dentistry was the desire to wear scrubs. Also, I became varsity tennis player, not because I love varsity. I just wanted to wear the cute skirt. Like that was really my motive in life. So I clearly am like a mixed bag over here of why I got here. But I actually then got into dental assisting. It was very fun, loved it. And then I went to college and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. And I settled on wanting to be a marriage and family therapist. And I remember I was sitting in my interview. I was in Oklahoma and I was interviewing to get my degree and master's and get accepted to school. They asked me questions and I was thinking about my patients back at the dental office. And it was I call these like the pivotal moments where I sat there and I was like, Kiera, do you really want to be a marriage and family therapist? The fact that you're sitting in this interview, you worked hard. I mean, passing the GRE is freaking hard. So like even to get there, I was like, do you actually want to be this marriage and family therapist? And it was a moment where I was like, I think I actually absolutely love dentistry and that's where I'm meant to be and what I love to do. And then you fast forward a little bit further, and now we're in consulting. And I feel like I've been able to blend my love of the marriage and family therapy, of the love of people and wanting to solve problems, but I get to do it in a space of dentistry that I feel is just magical to change lives. So that's kind of my like roundabout random story of going from hotel cleaner to veterinarian to becoming a dental consultant. And I feel like I really did that like sweet landing of a space that I'm obsessed with of helping people. And I say dentistry is my platform, life is my passion. And to be able to bring that to the table is very fun.
Kiera, that makes so much sense that you married those two because I watched your video on your website and I've been a dentist for a while and you hit it out of the park. As soon as I watched it, I'm like, yes, it's really hard. Yes, you love it, but yes, you're trying, you always have, I always say like you have one wheel off the wagon and you're always trying to get it back together. So that you were in counseling and yeah, you got it. You
You
really
know,
Thank you.
in our research of looking at what you've done, Kiera, I see a lot of similarities in your leadership style along with Dr. Sharon's here. One of my favorite all-time quotes from any human is when Dr. Sharon said, "You know why I'm a good dentist and a good manager and a good owner, Kyle? It's because I raised 4 kids. It's because I was a mother. It's because I was a mom first." You talk a lot about accountability without drama. Noble Dentistry, our in-house brand underneath Team Care, is run equal parts iron fist and a lot of empathy. Everyone there, it's an excellent practice. 14 operatories, 7 associate doctors, millions of dollars a year. It got there under the leadership of Dr. Sharon and the incredible technology that builds powers team care. But Dr. Sharon lives and breathes that every day. Accountability without drama, being direct with people, having meaningful conversations. What in your experience does that actually look like in a real office?
Yeah, well, I mean, Dr. Sharon, I love your story and I love what you've built. And I think like powerhouse, and that is not an easy feat. Working with physically, my body's been, I think, in over 300 dental practices in the course of my career. Our team, I think, has physically been in over 1,000. So, like, to say that I've seen a few dental practices in my time is not a lie. And to see people that are able to grow to the magnitude that you've been able to is something that I think there are traits, there are characteristics, there are pieces. And it was interesting because I think like one, you're an insane example, and everybody listening, like kudos because you've got a great example. So Dr. Sharon, I'm freaking proud of you and I love what you built and I love what you created, and everybody listening is really lucky to be able to hear your successes and to learn from you. The second thing I want to say is we had an in-person mastermind with our doctors and we bring them all together, and it was something I did not want to do. Like literally I was like, I'm not doing masterminds, guys. Like everybody does masterminds, and our doctors were like, Kiera, please bring us together. And I'm like, listen, this is not my cup of tea. Like I'm a girl who loves to be on stage, but then I definitely love to just like shut it off and not be on stage anymore. And events, I feel like they just linger longer forever. So I am the girl who puts on an event and then you don't see me at all. Like it's like a goodbye, wave goodbye to the children, send them on their way. And like, I don't want to see you until the next morning. But I noticed in there that when you ask about the questions of accountability and iron fist and different things, there was a moment that I hadn't realized until just 2 weeks ago. And I've even watched myself, we're 10 years into the company now. And I think that there's an evolution of leadership. And I think Dr. Sharon, you'd probably agree to this, that I think there's the firefighter stage when you first start and you're like bros and gals with your team. And you're really in this, like, I want to be best friends. And I actually think it blurs the lines of accountability really hard for these new owners, but they want to keep the team and they want to have good vibes. Like I was talking to a dentist the other day and she's like, I just love my practice. She's 3 months in, Dr. Sharon. So we know she's still in like the honeymoon phase. And she's like, I just love my team and they're so great. And we just like all have the best thing and we hang out all the time and it's just great vibes. And I thought, oh, honey, I'm so freaking pumped for you to experience. It's Sharon's laughing. She's like, you get it. You have it. You understand. I think that as you evolve, you start to recognize, and I said this quote the other day to a dentist, I said, there will be points in your career that you are loved. There will be points in your career that you are hated, but I hope where you actually land is respected. And I think when you can have the filter of how can I be a respected team leader? How can I be a respected CEO? You start to make decisions of accountability that are firm, that are fair, that are consistent. And that is what teams ultimately are looking for. They're not looking for you to be best friends. Surprise, like spoiler, bosses aren't their best friends. Like that's not what we're here to do. Our job is to be that leader, to be that coach, to be that mentor, to be the person who sets the standards, who sets the stage. And standards are what we tolerate, not what we say. And so when I look at accountability and I look at teams, I think that there is a progression. And I think for leaders to realize, like, you don't just show up out of the box as a great leader. It is a progression and it's an overview of that. But I do think the consistency piece and also making decisions that are in the best interest of the business, not in the best interest for you or for your team, I think becomes the North Star that helps you have stronger accountability. And I will say, like, you can't have accountability without consistency. So if you're not solid on the consistency, get someone paired with you that can consistently drive those results forward for you, because those are going to be some of the most key critical pieces that I've seen that really separate the successful, easy practices versus those that are just scrapping by and trying to get to the next level, but feeling like they can't get out of their rut. And I'm like, you can't, because we're not consistent, we're not accountable, and we're not holding the true North Star of what the practice ultimately needs, not what you want to do to be liked. And I hope that landed with love, not sharpness.
No, like that's like spot on. That's what Kyle's kind of saying. Kyle has 3 children. He is an entrepreneur. He has multiple businesses and he's a big part of team care. But we talk all the time. He has 3 children under 2.
Three, three under three
Would you
now.
recommend that, Kyle? We're in IVF right now and we have 3 embryos. And people, I've been asking people, I'm like, so do I just go for like the shop approach? Like you just like a 3, like one after another. Like I could have 3 surrogates at the same time. Like we have to realize I have like different atmosphere over here. Or would you like space it out? So hearing like 3 under 3, would you recommend it? Just curious, asking for a friend here.
Okay, so I have twin boys that are about 2.5 years old and a 9-month-old baby girl, and I think I think it's good to do it all at once because I have a friend who has a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old, and his wife's pregnant, and the look on his just that's is devastating. I'm praying for David out there. Yeah, just go for it. Go for it, Kiera. Do triplets. Let's go.
I'm with
Honestly, my first thing
Kyle.
was, I was like, "Listen, guys, I'm a business person over here. Can I do like a 3-for-1 deal?" Like, surrogates are not cheap, nor should they be. Like, they're donating their body for me, and I'm so grateful. But I was like, "Can I do a 3-for-1 deal?" And they were like, "Well, your rates go down." And I was like your success rates. And I was like, "All right, we'll do like 3." But just okay. Anyway, back to you're an entrepreneur. You're
But I
3.
do think Kyle's right because, like, I always look at it like my kids, I had 4 in 6 years. You wanna go to Disney World once. You don't wanna go every 3 years. You wanna go once. But
It's a
that
good
aside,
perspective.
honestly, I feel exactly as you do, and that's why I kinda said to Kyle about treating everyone there. Absolutely, the business is first. Very open, very honest. Tell someone immediately when something's not going right, correct it, and it's over, and that's it.
Mhm.
And it's much what do they say, raising kids? 7 words of praise for everyone negative. It's truth. It's truth in any part of your life. And I do love your name too. And I want to talk about that a little, like that you wrote Dental A Team, because one of the big things on all my ads say players want to play with A players. And once you drop that level, your whole team goes down. Once there's one person sitting at the front desk or in the back or anywhere who's not pulling their weight, everyone knows it. So how, when you go into a practice, are you addressing that to the doctor, to the team? Like, where do you go when you're finding these? You're seeing it straight up where sometimes docs sometimes live in fear of their staff.
Yeah. No, you're right, Sharon. And I say the best gift I think I can give an owner is to be unshackled from feeling like they have to keep team if they don't want to. I'm not here to. Consultants get a bad rap because we go and we're like, fire everybody. And that's not my world. I don't believe in that. Being a team member myself, being a business owner, the greatest cost to a business is actually turnover. The human capital expense is very large and for a good reason. But when I look at that, you're not wrong. Someone was talking to me, they talked about like the NFL, like pick whatever sport analogy you enjoy, but they're like, they don't go pick when they're going through draft season, they're not picking the like B, C, D's for good cost. They're like, we're going for A because we want to win. And every person on there is the top 1%. And if they even drop and they're not doing it their best, they get cut. And it's just cutthroat there. But that's how you get winning championship teams. And I think a lot of times in dental practices or in business, that's not as cutthroat. It's not as viewed in the world, like on the spotlight of the TV. I think we do sometimes settle because we're so afraid. And to me, I'm like, gosh, it goes back to marriage and family therapy. Let's go back there. I had a professor and they said in dating, and gosh, you guys are going to love me or hate me, but I have found that this is true. So I hope it's a love.
Love this.
They
I can't wait. Whatever you're
Thanks,
about.
Kyle. Thanks, Kyle. He said, in dating, there's always someone just as good, if not better out there. And you might hate that because it could be a Tinder swindler. Like you could just keep swiping for the rest of your life, always thinking there's someone better out there. So like use that with caution. But I do think that it's real. Like there is always someone better. At some point you just accept, like my husband, I freaking love him. I mean, I got a great last name from it. So that was a win for me. But I look at this and I just think there are always going to be better people out there. And I think sometimes you do need to elevate a team and you need to upgrade a team, and that is not wrong. And so when I go in and I work with teams, first and foremost, doctors, let's make sure that we got a clear vision. It is wild if you do not have a clear vision that every single person is going towards. And people think that this is rah rah puff, and I'm such a tactical girl. But if they don't know where they're even going, like we don't even know the lighthouse on the thing, we've all got different rowing, and you're just going to feel like mayhem. People are like, my team is not bought in. And I'm like, cool, what's your vision? If I walked in, could every person tell me today where are we headed in 1 year, 3 years, 10 years? If it is not so crystal clear that every person can do it, that's step one. Because that might even be half of the issue to get our A players up to A players. Like they don't even know what the scoreboard is. Are we playing basketball, golf, football? Like there's different rules depending upon where we're headed. And so getting your whole team aligned on that is number one. Then number two, I love this litmus test. And mine is if I had a chance to rehire all these people today, would I rehire them? And that is sometimes the zone that I don't want to go in and face. But I think that that's the core heart where we know. And we often don't want to do that. Now, if you're like not into that and you're like going to sit here and justify, then I've got another one for you to get even more tactical. Grab your core values and go through it and rank that person. Do not lie to me. Keep this paper hidden. You can burn it afterwards, but be honest with it. Put your core values out there and rate each person. And if they are not striking you at tens across the board, it's time to move on or it's time to elevate up. And I think when people recognize, like I got a doctor, she's in Virginia Beach, she can't find a hygienist, but they had a hygienist who was just tearing them all down. They let them go. And we're in like hygiene like starvation right now. Like I understand that is a hard position to want to quit and like get rid of. They cut this person. It's been 6 months and the team is so much happier. And I think when you live that and you see it, you stop tolerating. It's like, do not lower your standards for excellence to meet people's need for mediocrity. And I think if you can hold that line and realize that's what you are, you're here to win championships. You're not here to win friends. But by winning championships and being respected, you win friends along the way. It's this crazy piece. A players, you like to play with A players. And the worst thing you can do to your A players is tolerate the behavior of your lower people. So I think when I am making a decision as a CEO, I have to remember my A players are watching me to see what I'm doing. And that's the motivation for me to make the decisions that ultimately are best for the business, not the ones that are easy.
Awesome. And you're right. And that's where the respect comes in. If the leader is working from fear, no one's good. I think that a lot of times docs are, falling over dollars to pick up pennies. Like if you pay a little more, you're getting that better person. We pay very well and I don't have a problem hiring at any position, but I got great people. They're rock stars. They put me to shame, the stuff that they can do from hygiene to anywhere, front desk. They're smart people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Kiera, what you said actually really, I'm going to do a screen share right now. We haven't done a screen share in a couple episodes, and
Ooh.
I'm going to show a dashboard on Team Care that you are to love. And I think this will also be a nice segue into hearing how you're using technology, specifically AI, in managing, because it's certainly a balance. But what I'm going to show you from an A team stamp is the leaderboards that we intelligently produce. These update in real time every day. We're looking at a practice here. I've anonymized the data, but we're looking at the hygienist productivity so far for March, and we can see how many patients. And by the way, the beautiful thing about this is that not only can the practice owners and managers see this, but every single one of these team members, these hygienists, can see what their patient per average day is, what their pre-appointment rate is, how much they're presenting for treatment, how many reactivation calls. We can see this for doctors. So Dr. Sharon is so good at going in and saying, hey, this guy, a lot of production, but his production per exam is actually not as good as some of these other folks. So is there an opportunity to coach him on his bedside manner? This is a depth chart. Everyone wants to be a starter. Everyone wants to make the Pro Bowl. And so when you're able to show this type of visibility, some practices don't like this because, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. This is not youth soccer. Not everyone getting a participation trophy. And so you can see where you stand. So this is a part of Team Care that it feels like really aligns with your values and how you lead.
1000%, Kyle. And I love that you brought this up because I am pro EOS, traction, Gino Wickman, which this is very much in a line with that. We coach Dental Team's version of that. And the bottom line is numbers don't lie and numbers make these conversations easy. And when you look at this, like as a team, we can't hide. Like there's zero hiding in there to see like, all right, well, I just was busy. Everybody's busy. Like, where do we hide in this scenario? And it's either I'm going to rise up or rise out, and both are great options. And I think when you recognize that, because you're right, like, even watching Dr. Sharon, if you look at her, if you guys can see the video, she's sitting back and there's a calm, collected confidence about her that she knows that what she's put into place, these people want to be there. And the leaderboard shows that. And I think when you obsess about data and numbers, you can sit back like Dr. Sharon and have good confidence because you know that people can't hide. I mean, you guys, Kiera Dent is a human. Like, I love people. I love to make people feel good. But at the end of the day, feelings only go so far and results ultimately sustain. And I think when I look at it, I'm like, am I feeding my family or am I just fishing for a day? Like, I've got to take care of, like, it's one or the other. I'm either going to make people happy, make my life miserable, or we're going to like look at the numbers and we're all going to win and we're all going to be happy. Like, what is it going to be? And I think when, again, this is an evolution of maturity of CEOs and owners of businesses, you hit this, I feel like there's a threshold that you hit and it comes and everybody gets it at a different time, but you hit a level where it's like, data and numbers matter more than people's feelings. And us being on a winning team and me recognizing, or like, shoot, I've had people take second mortgages out on their homes to keep paying people that don't want to be accountable. And I'm like, that is a choice that you're willing to make. There are multiple choices in life to make, but Dr. Sharon shook her head. And for me, I don't lose money and that's my standard. I also don't tolerate people that don't want to be on my winning team. But I used to not be that way. 2020, I felt like I was Johnny Depp in the middle of the ocean. I was on a freaking burning boat, hoping and praying something else was coming. Like my team was ratch. Like we were really struggling. And I think you have to go through that to realize, or you listen to podcasts like this and you don't have to learn through it. Use the numbers. You're exactly right. There is no hiding. Use the numbers, use the metrics. Numbers are your best friend. They're the vitals to your practice. And if you want to know if you're sick, you get your vitals. If you want to know if your practice sick, look at the vitals of the practice and then make decisions accordingly.
And it's like every once in a while, it's not often, but if things are going really bad with a group, with EFTAs or assistants or hygiene or whatever, sometimes you got to say to them, right, get them all together and be like, everyone's replaceable, even me. And, sometimes you just, it really reminds everyone that you don't have this job forever. You're not working for the government, like this is nothing's going to keep you here. But I'll tell you what, I really, really want to hear about your systems. I think like that's the number one thing. And I think docs are horrible at it. We're just dentists, and systems is what makes a real business run. And I think it's the hardest thing to put in place.
And Dr. Sharon, thank you for that. And shout out to your guys' software. I just want to go back to that. I didn't like, if you don't have that, use it. It will be game changing in your practices. I feel like it's like AI, right? Like you guys put Pearl overlay or whatever you want over Jet, and it helps you like diagnose. To me, your guys' software is how you diagnose the problems in your practice without having the emotional baggage that comes along with it. So just like wanted to do a plug there for you guys, because I really am impressed with what you've created. As far as systems, Dr. Sharon, I actually feel systems are easy. And I know that that's like going to be contrary. The reason I think systems are easy is because if you have the vision, I call it the yes model in our company. So we focus on you as a dentist. Your business should serve your life and not the other way around. And I'm very pro, all of us on here are business owners, and we know that I can either work my booty off for my business or I can get my business to work for myself. And both are available. It just depends on which route you want to go. And so I'm very pro, let's have the business work for you. So that stands for why for you. You're number one. And if we don't take care of you first, the whole business will crumble. So like we've got to take care of you. Second is E. It stands for earning. So exactly like you talked about, the leaderboard, the numbers, the metrics. And then S stands for systems and team development. And I put this together purposely in this order so you can say yes to more in your life. But I use systems third because I think so many people, to Dr. Sharon, your point, they want to go attack the systems, but they're missing the top two. And when I put the top two in place, the systems actually come after. Like what my numbers are telling me, tell me where my systems need to be implemented. No team wants to go through a whole systems overhaul. Like I've done this a lot. No team's super thrilled of like, hey guys, I heard this great podcast. Let's implement these systems. Why are we implementing the systems and what result am I ultimately trying to get? I am big on outcomes over activity. What's the outcome we're looking for? And then let's put activity into place. And I don't disagree with you. Systems feel so daunting because there's a system upon a system upon a system upon a system. Like it never ends. It's like the Winchester Mansion. Like they just go forever and you cannot escape it. And so when I think about it, I think that that's where it feels daunting. But I will say that there are core foundational systems that I put into place. And you're exactly right. Like we can't just be like, I've got a great vision and my numbers look good. Well, like the systems have got to be there. And so I don't disagree with you that systems are daunting. And so we actually created like 12 systems because I like cadences. I like it to be easy for people to memorize. Like, what do I need to focus on in January and February and March? So my practice can always be refining because systems are a refinement and an optimization, not a set like one and done. So I'm big on like operations, like let's look to see where we're broken. Like what are easy core systems we can put into place? Hygiene needs to be producing 30% of a practice is a general great baseline and they should be producing 3 times their pay. Everyone's like, what? They're so expensive right now. I get that. So like, let's get innovative. Let's get creative. We maybe can't quite get there, but let's at least set a good baseline and see what we're producing and how we can get there. So then we need to put our hygiene protocols into place. We need to make sure our hygienists are good to go. We need to make sure our hygiene exams are solid. Easy systems that are going to impact numbers. Then I'm going to move to my front office. How do we schedule? Like doctors, if you're not getting out on time, that's a fantastic system for us to go attack. If we're not producing enough, like let's go after block schedules. But I don't want you to just block schedule for the sake of block scheduling because you heard it on a podcast. Like, what do you need to make? What do the numbers tell you? And then let's make sure we can actually build a productive schedule that will get you to that number. And I think when you put systems into place that make sense, like when I go to Chick-fil-A, they've got like the salad thing up there. Like you put 3 things in and 2 things to let it, like whatever it is. That makes sense because I'm going to make a whole salad at the end. Teams need to understand why we're doing systems. And so I'm very core on what are the core systems that a practice needs to have. It usually falls under my hygiene department, making sure my doctors and our procedures are there, front office scheduling, our billing. Please, for the love of everything holy, collect the money. Like just collect the money. We are not back in the 1800s. You do not need to put it on a tab. Collect the money. Like it is here. We need to collect money. Like what are the things that are going to burn you? And then like our ordering needs a system. Things that are going to help and protect cash flow, things that are going to help and protect patient experience. But like, I don't disagree with you, Dr. Sharon. I know I said like, I think systems are easy, but I think it just feels like there's so many things that we could do. But I feel like in systemization, less is more simple, one-page documents rather than 20-page documents. And then we just realize we're refining based on what the numbers tell us, what our main pain point stressors are in the business that ultimately get us to the W on the scoreboard. That's how I'd implement systems.
Amen. And if you are listening to this right now and you're saying, man, I need all of Kiera's systems. That sounds incredible. Well, lucky for you, on April 24th, Kiera and the Dental A team are holding a virtual summit. And even luckier for you is that you can use code extraction50 for 50% off your ticket. It's going to be about 4.5 hours, 3 hours of which will be continuing ed, where you can learn about these systems. It's an incredible value, and we will have a link in the show notes where you can join. So, Kiera, thank you so much for that generous code.
Yeah.
If you're listening, and look, what I love about Kiera is, Kiera, you're spicy. There's people that are listening, they're like, I don't like the way she talks, and I don't believe in her. But there's going to be other people that are like, yes, I need a tiger mom like this in my life to help me move the needle. So I like it. I know Dr. Sharon does. It's you guys are sisters from other misters.
Well, and Kyle, thank you for that. And I did realize, I was like, golly, Kiera, you're coming in like, you're hot, you're on it. I've already been podcasting this morning. Like, I'm in the rhythm. Like, I was so pumped for this podcast.
Nice.
But I think it comes from a space of, I don't know. The analogy I give is I'm sitting on one side of the river and you're on the other side, and you're trying to get across this river. And I'm sitting there as a guide, knowing that your pain points and the frustrations that are keeping you up at night, that are causing you to cry, that are keeping you from your family. Sometimes I believe, like, yes, I'm a consultant. That's what our title is. But I feel like I really sit in a realm of a coach. And I think about coaches of the best teams. I go to my gym, and my gym trainer, she's not like yesterday, she freaking rocked me. I can't even walk. Like, that's why I'm not standing. My calves hurt so bad. And she was like, Kiera, run harder. And I was like, I'm trying it so hard right now. But yet sometimes in practice and in business, and this is where I love what we do, Dental A Team is about fun. It's about ease, and it's about giving you a hug of wherever you are with no judgment. And at the same time, telling you what no one else will tell you, because I'm not big on consultants that are theories and fluff. I'm big on like, what's the tactical, what's the practical, because I've hired plenty of coaches in my career that give me a lot of great ideas, but I'm like, yeah, but that idea is not getting me through this incredible moment and opportunity I'm living through that's like making me want to lose my hair. And so when you say, and like the summit is fun, come and enjoy it. It's a really great time. One person in the room, 20 people in the room, I don't care. Our job is to positively impact the world of dentistry. And we are actually giving away our entire virtual academy. So all the systems, we've got operations manuals, we've got onboarding things, we've got CE, we've got every single course you could imagine, team training videos, like you name it. It's like, they told me someone I was the Dr. Seuss of systems. So like it's there and it's free. Just come and say hello and you can win it. I really hope that it comes from a space of not a lot of people tell you what needs to happen. A lot of people tell you what you want to hear. And I think as a business owner, I've just gotten tired of that mantra in the industry. And I'm not like, this isn't about any consultant. This is just truly who I am, what I believe. And I'm about results. And I want people to get results. If they're going to spend money, if they're going to spend their time, I want to make sure teams and doctors are getting the results they want. But at the same time, you talk to any team that works with us and they absolutely love us. We get texts every single time like, we love you guys. We have so much fun when you come in, because I think we get the seat. We understand the doctor's perspective and we understand the team's perspective. I'm going to talk to a team. I'm not going to be like spicing. It's like, perfect. Let's talk about block scheduling. Had an office manager the other day. She did not want to be doing any, like, oh my gosh, the doctors are out of town. They're not hitting goals. We were -20 last month. They were positive. So we talked to the office manager and I'm like, hey, it's like, let's talk about this. And she's like, my team's doing so good. And I was like, that's amazing. I'm so proud of that. Let's talk about like what numbers we need to have. Like, did you know that like last month we were -20? And she's like, I had no idea. And I was like, okay, great. Like as an office manager, would this help you to be like in your role and to do really well in your role? And she's like, oh my gosh, it would help me so much. So we went through, and it's a very gentle, like, let's walk you through, and how many patients do we have? And like they have 1,900 patients that are active and we need 2,800 active patients. And I was like, all right, well, like, and she's like, Kiera, what do I do? And so that's when you open the door, and it's not coming in with a harsh judgment, just like it's no harsh judgment on any office. It's more a, here's the problem. Like, we have 1,900 and we need 2,800. If you don't want to ask me and you want to go figure that out, phenomenal. Go do that. I have no problem. There's zero ego. But typically people want to know, how do I get across this river? And you've been there, you've done it, and you've done it successfully many times over. What are the tips? And what was amazing is she ran some reports. She found some reactivation. She found 800 patients. And so she's freaking lit up. She's taken it to the team. They've got simple little steps that are not going to be hard. And she's driving that. We make her look like the $1,000,000 rock star for her doctors. But she was able to reach out and have the help. So Kyle, yes, thank you for calling me on the spice. There's some directness, But I think it comes from a space of you hire a consultant for a reason, you expect results, and I believe that you should get those results.
As our episode comes to a close, I want to serve you some rapid fire questions. The challenge is to answer them in a sentence or less, even one word if you want.
Okay.
So first one
He's like, listen,
metric.
I actually have 10, but Kiera, you talk way too much, so we're dropping it to 4. I got you, Kyle. I see you.
Actually had 29. No, just kidding. Okay, so first one metric every owner should watch weekly.
Oh gosh. Weekly, I would say my first one that comes to mind is I think you need to be watching your overhead. And I understand it's not weekly. So that's why I'm like, but I think if you are not in the habit of watching your money and your profit every single week, you get into hot water very quickly. So if you are tracking that, then I would say my next one is I would say your diagnosis.
One system every office should fix this quarter.
I would say, I think if you get your hygiene perio protocols in place, I think that that's going to grow you in your hygiene department. That's going to grow you faster than any other system can.
One piece of technology that you can't live without now that you didn't even know existed a year ago.
Are you talking about me or a dental practice?
Either one.
All right. Well, dental office, I think, it's like shameless plug for you guys, yours for sure. I think that that's an amazing one. The other one, I do think like AI for like Pearl or Overjet for your x-rays and diagnosis. I think dental practices need that. For me, or like revenue billing, I think those are great ones. For us in our company, a year ago, I mean, you're going to judge me. So I'm a little scared to say it, but like Slack has game changed me on so many different levels. And I think, yeah, so that would be the one that I'd say. I knew it existed though, but it's a game changer.
Okay, cool. But you didn't implement it. So that's awesome. All right. And last one mindset shift that instantly makes a leader more effective.
I would say spicy Kira. I'm choosing my words cautiously, Kyle. I think the mindset shift that people need to have is no one's coming to save you, and it's time for you to take accountability and get the results you ultimately want rather than blaming, not taking ownership or accountability. And the second you do that, your life will change.
Kira, thank you so much for joining us. Listeners, check out Kira and her rockstar team at thedentalateam.com. We'll drop the special link for the virtual summit in the show notes. And I think we will be seeing Kira back on the podcast at some point. It was a pleasure and an honor, and we look forward to staying in touch. Kira, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you.
I appreciate it a ton. Thank you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you for listening to The Extraction with Colin Ambler and Kyle Bergman. Read episode notes and transcripts at teamcaredental.com.